everything. Oh.
Does the camera make it go off?
Oh, yes, it will.
Let's see, I'm gonna walk through there quickly and I'll get you out of here. There you go. I'll put it right here.
Alright. This is yours.
That is mine. You getting hot out there?
Some days. Not every day.
No, I mean like 2 days.
Oh,
hot.
today?
Yeah.
If you keep moving, the wind's pretty nice.
All right.
So drive fast. Well, not drive fast, but keep the wind blowing, and you should have a good
All right, you got it?
drive.
Okay.
The window down.
My name's Leann, Moberly. I am Danielle's supervisor, and
Okay.
she, I get to up here in court right now.
Okay.
She's in her office,
All right.
but she's attending by computer.
Okay.
And so this was rescheduled at the last minute. So I'm going to see quickly today, we can take a right.
Okay.
If she gets done in time, then she will come out and see you.
Okay.
She asked me to give you your next visit,
Okay.
and I won't take much of your time. Did you come here from work today?
Yes, they let me stop midday
Oh, good.
to have do people sit here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're supposed to be ergonomically correct. So
Okay.
they're supposed to be good chairs for you, but I think they're kind of awkward.
Yeah, it's keeping you posture. The posture is pretty nice.
Yeah. All right, everything's fine with work, going well?
Yeah, there's some small problems. Still being sexually harassed at work. Most of my coworkers are in the gay community, and every once in a while they'll bend over and point their butts at me, or wait until I arrive and pause while bent over, or like showing underwear now. This is lately what my coworkers have been doing. I have a female coworker that just showed up. She decided to, I could see her underwear. She was wearing white underwear, and I could see a large portion of her butt while she walked through the door. And I think her shirt was up on purpose, because you normally don't see that much of someone's butt at work and that much of their underwear. So
Did you say something to her?
no, I didn't. I didn't ask her to cover her butt. I know that it usually leads to no response, like no change. So I stepped past that, and I decided to tell somebody, or tell on Twitter. So when
Do you ever tell your boss?
no, because I know they'll just decide to fire me, or they'll that's what they've done in the past. So for the last 5 years, every time I tell that someone's sexually harassing me at work, the employer I work for has decided to fire me.
How long have you kept this job?
It's been 3 months now.
Is that a long time? Sounds
For
like a long time to me.
relatively for me, it's
Yeah.
pretty decent amount of time. For me, the longest job I've had now was 9 months. For a delivery driver job I had a couple years ago, and they terminated me for no reason, so I collected unemployment benefits. So it's basically I didn't have sex with my coworkers for the entire time I was working there, and those coworkers were also in the gay community. Somehow, I keep working for companies full of people in the gay community. I think it's out of my control. I think when I apply for jobs, every single person who has a company of mixed people or straight people refuses to hire me. And every company I've worked for 5 years has always been in the gay community. So coworkers people who only hire gay people. So it's like someone's trying to tell me, you must be gay if you keep working for gay people. Or the only people who will hire you only hire people in the gay community. And I'm not ridiculing the gay community. I didn't get out of prison to hate on any group of people, but I'm telling you the truth. The people I've worked for the last 5 years have all been in the gay community.
But you know enough that you're not reporting this so that you can keep your job. Like, you know that that's what you want to do is ultimately keep your job.
Yes. And I think the only help I'm going to get is from the public. So if anybody's out there watching my pages or listening to my videos, that's the only place I'm going to get help. I think the department has ignored my attempts to tell. And I think, well, this department, yes.
So what would you like us to do?
Well, I don't know. I think I think it's pretty bad. I don't know what what you guys can do. So all I can do is tell you that there are people harassing me, and they are in the gay community outside these doors.
And then there's nothing that we can do based on you saying the people in general.
Well,
a specific person,
no.
there's a name, and there's it has to be very, very detailed, and then you can report that to the police. But it
Yes.
has to be an act that is against the law.
Yes. Yeah, well, group harassment or stalking is
Stalking
illegal.
is against the law.
Yeah.
Stalking is very
Yeah.
specific.
Yes, but see, they're passing it off, right? So you can pass off that singular person stalking, which is easy to identify, easy to write down, easy to tell,
Right.
with lots of people. So you use a community, you use an entire community of people to insult, disrespect, harass, follows, and hurt someone as a group instead of as a single person. And that way you can get around this law.
If you believe that the community is stalking you, it's going to be very difficult.
It's not a. I swear, it's not a belief. It is not. It's not.
No, I'm just saying it's
Yeah.
very difficult to prove
Yeah.
that a community,
Yes.
the
It's
whole
no.
community is coming after you. It's going to be difficult from the eyes of law enforcement to prove.
I disagree because I've heard stories and I know the world is large and I know people are capable of many different things. You can go to school and there's a group of kids who don't like you. You can go to a grocery. Oh well, in that school setting, it's possible, and in the setting of a city, it is also possible. There are many people who talk to each other inside the city of Madison.
Right.
There are
You're
many.
specific. You have specific. Just like in school, if somebody is harassing you, bullying
Yeah.
you need to know what's the name, where did it come,
Yeah.
what was said, in
Yeah.
order for it to be investigated.
Yes, I agree, and I do. I have. For years I was telling individual people we're doing this. For years before I made many police reports about individuals. I left descriptions, I left times, I left places, and I said what they told me. And it's like playing a game of catch. Well, not catch. It's like catching someone doing something wrong in a
Right.
split second.
Right.
So for 2 or 3 seconds it takes for you to tell somebody, be gay, and drive past them, or you're still gay, and drive past them, or to walk past somebody and whisper, be gay, or gay. I know it's not legal, but it's harassment, and that's what I've been reporting. And it's not a matter of belief; it's an impossible. It's a matter of telling the public that people in the gay community are doing this to you. These people dress like they're gay, or walk like they're gay, or walk like a normal person, like I walk, and don't dress like they're gay, don't look like they're in the gay community, but still say the same words. So it's really hard to to keep track of each individual person, but you can get the idea that it is a group of people trying to harass you. And that's what I've been trying to tell for the last 5 years, that this group of people have been doing this to me everywhere I go. And it's not hard to identify an individual. So the individual me, I'm not hard to identify. Even if I didn't wear the clothes, the same earmuffs, the headbands, or if I didn't have a really recognizable face, if I wasn't, I don't know, easy to spot, people can talk about me enough. Gossip spreads, word of mouth spreads pretty fast. So identifying people can spread just as quickly. And these people in the gay community quickly identify me wherever I am. It's not hard. Or gossip. and then they say you're still gay when they see me. It's like a game to them,
Right,
but it's very
there's
serious.
nothing that we can do
Yeah.
for what you're hearing other than to tell you to report it to the police if you
Yeah.
have specifics and you believe you're being harassed.
Yeah, it's not
I
a
mean,
matter
like,
of belief.
we can't go out in the community and say, we have heard that you called him this and now, 'cause
Yeah.
we don't have any authority
Yeah.
over that person.
I agree, but that's not what I'm asking. I don't know what you can do. I'm not in your position. So when I tell you these things are happening to you, it's to leave to do my
So
my
we
res-
want to document it and make sure that it's, your case notes and that you're reporting this.
Yeah, no, I think it's important to tell that somebody's bothering you somewhat.
Yeah.
And since you're asking me how I'm doing in the
Yeah, I
community,
will put it in the case notes.
yeah,
That you
I think
shared.
yes, I think it was my responsibility to report to you guys that these things were happening to me,
Okay.
and that's why I chose I'm telling
Okay.
you guys what's happening, and I also thought I read somewhere that the it's also your responsibility to make sure the felon is safe in the community. I read it. It's like a fine print. It says, it's
John, I've worked here 31 years, I've never
yeah.
heard that.
You've never heard that the sex
It's
offenders
It's our
get
responsibility to make sure that felons are safe in the community?
Yes.
No.
It
What our
says-
responsibility is to supervise felons in the community to keep the community safe.
Yes.
So if there's an allegation that there's an assaultive behavior,
Yeah.
or a violation, or a law violation, or a violation of the rules,
Yeah.
then our obligation is to investigate that.
Okay, so you're telling me nowhere ever, and you've read and worked here for 31 years, that it says that a person, a felon, I'm sorry, somebody was I don't know, that a felon can, I remember reading this when I first got on probation. It says what you just said, and it also says that sex offenders are normally or can be harassed in the community, and are vulnerable in the community because the information is public and everything, and that information is public. And if they are being harassed in the community, it's the Department of Corrections or the parole agents or someone's responsibility to make sure that these sex offenders are also safe in the community from harassment. Now, I read that. I remember reading it. It was 5 years ago. It was printed. I understood what that said. And now you're telling me nowhere in the Department of Corrections does it say that sex offenders could be harassed in the community, and that your job was to make sure they were safe in the community.
No, I've never heard that. And I can tell you, first of all, I don't supervise a specialty of sex offender
Okay.
supervision, but I do know the basics of all supervision.
Yes.
And what you first said was that it was our responsibility, meaning the department, to keep felons safe in the community. And I responded to that and said, no, it is not. I can't guarantee anybody's safety on the streets when they're in the office. It's just, the world's not like that. You can't guarantee my safety, whether a felon or not.
Yeah.
When you're out there in the streets,
Yeah.
nobody can guarantee that we're gonna keep you safe.
So why did they write that?
I don't know what you're talking about, I've never seen
Do you have like there's pamphlets you give out to every felon when they first get on
Is that what you saw in the pamphlet?
It's like a probation. You start your probation, and this is what the handout that they gave you. If I could still find it, I would have. I would.
Well, I can call, I have colleagues that run
Yeah.
sex offender units
Yeah.
here in Madison.
Yeah.
And I can certainly ask them if they have any idea what you're talking about.
It does. I swear to you,
Okay.
it said that.
I don't disbelieve you, I'm
Yeah.
just saying I've never seen that.
And that's why I also believe this. I don't think it's because I'm a sex offender. It's because of my childhood. So when I was a kid, my grandmother is gay.
I know.
So- so-
Danielle's kind of briefed me on
Yes.
the history.
So she decided to raise me to be a part of the gay community. She appreciated men in the community who were gay. So her life was built around a whole. I didn't know this, but this woman was gay. My own grandmother was a part of the gay community. And so she wanted me to grow up like the men she grew up with, who were also gay. So that didn't work. She failed. I chose not to have sex with gay men, but the community I live in, still choose to listen or abide or believe that if your family is gay or you grew up in a gay family, if your grandmother really wanted that to be how your life turned out to be, there's a whole community of people who are helping that grooming. So it's like, or raising you to still
Grooming is the right word.
grooming to you to still have sex with gay men as an adult. So that's what I'm talking about. It's happening outside. That's what is happening at work. Someone.
And it's happened your whole life and your childhood.
Yes, and it's become obvious now to me because they're not hiding anymore. They're actually verbalizing, and instead of like using subtlety throughout my life to guide me to where they wanted me to be as an adult, they're actually being overt and obvious that we're trying to get you to have sex with gay people. And now,
Other people don't hear this, so there's
yeah, they do.
standing beside you that's recording that they.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't have. For some reason, nobody I know has spoken to me since I got out of prison. So I haven't. So all the people I grew up with for like the last 12, 15, 14 years have stopped speaking to me. Or I think the day I went to prison is probably expected. So you lose some friends or lose people you knew. But since then, I'm sorry. What I just said is partially a lie, but the part where you're talking about someone standing next to you, being right next to you,
Witnessing or hearing
yes,
this, right.
I think that makes it harder for people to harass someone else if there's a witness. So the easiest way to get around that is to get rid of any potential witness. So I think that was the plan, to make sure no one hangs out with him, make sure no one's near him when you say the words, be gay. And most of the time of your life, you're by yourself. There's not someone right next to you all the time. So for me, I'm the same way. Most of my life, I'm by myself, or I'm walking near people I don't know, or I'm going places I've never been before. And I don't have somebody with me all the time or ever.
Right.
So I think that was the plan. Make sure he's alone, because if somebody's with him, they probably care about him.
Right.
And so if somebody does something bad to him, the person who cares about him is going to also react the same way I'm reacting. So if somebody walks past me and says, be gay, and continues to walk, the person I came with or the person who cares about me who's standing next to me is going to say, why did you just say that? Or did you hear that? Or that keeps happening. You need to tell. Or they're going to be on Twitter or YouTube or making videos just like me saying that there are people harassing this person everywhere he goes. And I think this is I think to avoid that witness, or to help drive me to believe I'm making this up or I'm lying or I have a mental health problem, which is what most people have said over the last few years. I think somebody has decided to eliminate that. Well, take that second person away. So take whoever cares about away, and then leave him alone and help create that crazy mentality in his own mind. So it get people to say that doesn't make any sense. I don't believe nobody's harassing you. We need witnesses. We need all these things so that the person feels alone. It's like me. I feel alone. I feel hurt by the by knowing.
Yeah. You can't take action
Yeah.
based on you saying that you're hearing this. Excuse me, I'm just
Yeah.
going to say, and there's nobody that can say, yes, I heard this, or yes, this was reported, or
Yes.
this has been a pattern of
Yes,
behavior.
I didn't make this up. I didn't make up a way to harass somebody
Well, let's
this
talk
way.
about that for just a quick
Yeah.
moment. So Danielle said that she talked with you about yelling at people to go fuck yourself, and that you thought maybe you would come up with a different.
Yes, I said GF yourself.
Okay, does that sound like something you could do?
Yeah, I have been. The last
That's
2
good
days
news. That's good
in the departments. Well, this didn't happen in the apartments. I have no idea what she was referencing exactly.
I can tell you, somebody in I don't know what apartment or somewhere where you live
Okay.
said that you had repeatedly yelled, and I think that meant not all at one time, but that you would yell out, go fuck yourself, and people would be, this person was like, I don't know if I want to say they reported that they were bothered or scared because you yelled that. And then we asked for more information because just like what you're talking about, our job is to investigate that and
Yeah.
to see did this really happen?
Yes.
And so the person did get back to us and say that they had heard you say that. And so Danielle decided to talk to you about it to see if you could, because that's a fine line. Go
Yeah.
fuck yourself could be considered by some law enforcement disorderly behavior. If you say she F yourself, that's going to be a harder argument to make for disorderly. So I'm really glad that you have decided to change that.
Yes, and in the apartment complex I live in, absolutely. I had no idea. Well, this happened outside the apartment complex. I really haven't told or had to tell, to my memory, anyone to go fuck themselves inside my apartment complex.
I didn't get the impression you said it directly to somebody. I got the impression that you were yelling it. So it might have been in general you were yelling at somebody else and somebody heard it.
Okay. That could be true. I imagine that's true. But like I said, I don't really harass people I live with, and they don't really bother me. I think the last thing I remember telling somebody who lived near where I live, they were walking across the street, and I didn't know they lived in the apartment complex I live in. But the male, there was two young people. They could have been a couple, could not have been a couple. I was driving home, and the male turned to his left, looked into my passenger window, and said, "You're still gay," and continued to walk into the. I swear, he looked at me. He turned his head to the left, looked into the passenger window, and said, "You're." Well, he really soft, really soft. "You're still gay," or it was like no voice at all, and the girl, he turned to the right. The girl he was with was laughing, and I looked down through the passenger window, and I said, "Go fuck yourself." And then they took a left and walked into my apartment complex. I had no idea they lived there, but I do know he said what I just told you, and then looked to the right, and him and the girl were laughing as they walked into the apartment complex. So, no, I'm not...
You did a good job of changing that phrase up.
Yes.
And I'd like to know one more thing.
Yes.
You hear these voices that tell you that you're gay, or you're still gay, etc. Do you hear voices that tell you anything other than about being gay?
Hold on. There are people saying this, not voices.
Okay, people. Do you hear people
telling
you other things other than being gay? Like, do you hear anything else from people?
No, they talk about lots of different things.
Okay.
So these are individuals, they're not voices, it's technology. If that's what you're referring to, the conversations I've been having, telling her, and they're stopping me from speaking to you right now. They're doing their best to make sure I can't sound sensible.
You sound very sensible to me.
There are pauses where it's hard for me to remember, like right now, what I just said and find the word I know that I could tell you to explain myself. But these are people, and this is technology, and I am not lying to you. If I recorded myself 24/7 a day, 24/7, you would know that I was having a conversation with someone. I promise you that. If I had live streaming, I would record myself more often, and I would show you that somebody has been talking to me for the last 4 years, constantly. I don't. It's difficult. So right before I fall asleep, they're speaking, right? So they make it very difficult. Yeah. And then this technology can, your brain works by electricity. If they electrocute the portion of your brain where you fall asleep, you'll just fall asleep. And then to wake you up, so you hear someone speaking, someone talking, just having a conversation and talking to you. And that's how you wake up. And that's how I've woken up for several years. Someone just starts talking, and then I ignore it as well as I can. So I lay still, and I ignore what they're saying as much as I can, so I can pretend or try to get as much rest as I can before I wake up, or before I decide to get up. And that's how I wake up. And as I go to sleep, someone's speaking, and when they get tired or they feel sorry for me or they want me to fall asleep, they'll hit a button, and I just pass out. So it's not like you normally lay down and go to sleep naturally. Someone is using technology to put me to sleep or wake me up. And when I'm driving, they can half hit the button, so you're drowsy, right? You're fighting to stay awake, and I'm sure people have said this everywhere, many other places, but someone is stopping them from telling. Anyways, but that's how I fall asleep, and
It sounds exhausting.
it is. And I've wrote many things that they've said on Twitter. I've tweeted as many things as often as I can, as often as I feel like I have time to respond to what they've said on Twitter. But I can't say every single word that these people say at all times.
No, I understand that. I understand that. All right, let's end this visit on a couple of notes. You live on your own. You're independent.
Yes.
You maintain employment.
Yes.
You're okay. You're all right in the community.
Yeah. No.
I mean, as far as place to lay your head,
Yes.
food,
Yes.
you get a paycheck.
Yes.
You are open to feedback and you're willing to change some of the things when you hear the voices instead of reflect yourself.
No, it's people. They're not voices. I hate the phrase.
When I say voices, I don't mean to insult you. They are people, but you can't see the people, can you?
Oh, yes.
You hear the people talking,
Yes.
but you don't see them.
Sometimes they'll flash. They'll flash. Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right.
That's
Yes.
why I'm using
Yes.
those voices.
Yes.
Because you have to be able to see the people, you would see them when you're not telling them to see.
Yes. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes they'll flash an image
Yeah.
in my eyes of themselves before they speak, and then you can hear the tone of voice. So I know who these people are. They're some of them are celebrities. Some of them are the people I grew up with. So I don't have to see them. I remember their voices when they did speak to me. So while they're talking, it's technology. It's a cell phone. It's like a cell phone was in your body. So if a kid you grew up with started talking to you in your ears, you would immediately recognize that voice and who was talking to you. And sometimes if I can't remember the voice or who the person was, they'll flash an image of that person in my eyes.
Have you ever seen a doctor to see if there was anything that could be done to help you?
Yes, 2 or 3 years ago, I went to see a doctor. When they first started doing this, I thought the device would be very visible in my ears. And I went there, the doctor put the thing, well, whatever you call it, in my ears, both ears. She told me she couldn't see the device. But I imagine if they were going to hide this in people, they wouldn't make it easy to find. So it wouldn't be right in your ears. So there must be somewhere else in your head where you can hear voices besides right in by your eardrum. So somewhere else in your body is there a place where you can make a sound and your ears will hear it. And I don't think it's right where it's obvious, where someone could maybe get in there and pull it out. I think it's somewhere where you'd have to have surgery to remove or surgery to place. And that's happening all the time. So the whole day today, I don't know, there's a camera in my truck. So I'm sure somebody's watching. So for the last 3 months.
Your employer has a camera in your truck?
Yeah, so it sees in, it sees out.
Yeah.
So
Tells how fast you're going, all that stuff?
yes.
Yeah.
So for the last 3 months, if you didn't believe me, you would ask yourself, how is it possible that this guy appears to be talking to someone the entire time he's driving? So
Has they ever asked you that?
no, they haven't. But I imagine if somebody cared, if somebody didn't believe me or wanted to know if I was telling the truth or not, they could. I mean, I've been saying.
They can see it and they can
Yeah,
hear it.
yeah. So my employer could actually, if they cared about me and if they knew who I was, could actually look back on the cameras and see that this person is clearly talking to somebody. Or you could put a recording device on this guy, and you could hear him. People aren't stupid. They know if you heard someone talking, you could tell if they're talking to someone,
Right.
or talking,
Right.
making things up.
If your employer wanted to watch it, they could see
Yeah.
it.
And if you or
That's
anybody
the bottom
else,
line, right?
yes,
If they wanted to watch it, they could see
Yes.
that you are talking to.
it's technology.
Yeah.
Someone put technology in, and they are using it to hurt some people and using it to help other people. And I'm telling, because they've been using it to hurt me for the last four years. And I've been fighting to.
It sounds terrible.
Yes,
It really does.
Yes, and I'm telling the truth.
It sounds terrible. All right, John, I have another appointment. I will let Daniel know that I saw you. Your next visit is there.
Yes.
If you have any questions, give a call.
Yes.
You have to get in touch with Daniel.
Yes.
And overall, I think you're doing pretty well considering the things that you're doing.
Yes, I think someone's serious. I'm very serious. I've been talking to people for the last 4 years, and they've been electrocuting my body parts, playing with my ears. That's why I wear the earmuffs. Moving your ears, like flicking them, like if somebody flicked your finger like that, and they do that every once in a while. But the sweatbands and stuff stop my ears from moving, and
It's better.
it feels better if they do that. It doesn't feel as weird
Yeah.
if my ears are pushed down against my head.
Well, nobody should be flicking your ears. Nobody should put their fingers on.
Yes, or use technology to do that. And that's what's happening to me.
Well, again, I'm sorry that's happening. It sounds terrible. Are you just like on lunch break or something? You gotta go back to work?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's head on out. You got any questions?
No. No.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Well, it was good to meet you.
Yes.
This next left is your
All right.
exit.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye, John.
Yep.
I got it.
All right. Okay. Next Friday. 1 month. All right. Well, just told me this. That's weird. Usually somebody out here. Somebody flashing their lights, somebody making a comment. But, alright, I'll see you guys later. I gotta go.